Recently, I came across this tweet that sparked my thoughts on aggressiveness versus efficiency in basketball. While I was reflecting on my own high school basketball career, I began to wonder, is it better to shoot more with a lower percentage or less with a higher percentage? My goal with these videos has always been to help younger basketball players. I've been really fortunate in my basketball journey, from playing high-level college basketball to now playing professionally in Finland. And because of that, I rarely talk about my own regrets, but there are some lessons that I think are still worth sharing, especially for those aiming to play basketball at the next level. So one thing that I wish I had done differently, and I think players who have goals of playing at the next level should do, is to be more selfish. And before you go to the comments to call me out, and please do if you want to, it helps the YouTube algorithm, let me explain what I mean by selfish. In high school, I was the kind of basketball player who always made the right play. I would try to run the plays perfectly, pass to my open teammates, try and find mismatches and get my teammates the ball. However, I attended a public high school where few of my teammates aspired to play college basketball. This, coupled with my own intense passion for the game, often left me really frustrated. I remember my mom one time asking me after a game, "Why do you keep passing to the pitcher and the quarterback? You should be taking those shots." However, I was always worried about being seen as a selfish player. So I'd often pass up shots for myself and instead give the ball to my teammates who didn't care as much or work as hard at basketball. But here's what I've learned over the years. If you actually put in the work and have a chance of playing at the next level, you need to be more selfish. There are two main reasons for this. First, I should have been more aggressive and selfish in my games because I had dreams of playing college basketball. And to play college basketball, you need to stand out, not fit in. I should have been taking more shots, tougher shots, because I was training for hours every day while my teammates weren't. That is nothing against them, obviously. We just had different goals in the long run. And secondly, my aggressiveness or selfishness would have increased our chances of winning. Like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the Thunder or Steph Curry for the Warriors, I needed to be that guy for my team. And I would actually argue it would be more selfish for a guy like Shai to not be aggressive. His team needs him in attack mode to have the best chance to win games. My trainer, Carey, always wanted me to embrace this attack mentality on the court when I was in high school, but for some reason I pushed back on it. Now, in retrospect, I know it would have helped my own development and probably my team's success as well. Now, let's be really clear about something. This aggressive mentality has to be earned. If you aren't putting the work in, being really aggressive in games could hurt your team, not help it. And the other thing I want to clarify is that being aggressive doesn't always mean you have to shoot the ball. When you're in attack mode, you're also going to get your teammates easy opportunities. Let's look at this idea of aggressiveness from a tactical basketball strategy sense. My professional team over here in Finland has been having a really good year. We're actually in second place in the standings right now, and we have one of the best offenses in the league. And a large part of that is because at almost all times, we have a bunch of guys on the court who can put pressure on the defense. We have guys that can shoot or drive to the basket, two of the main ways that you put pressure on the defense in basketball. This makes us really hard to guard because we don't just swing the ball around and wait for an open shot. No, we attack the defense and make them react to us. I recently saw this random clip where a reporter asked Kyle Kuzma what makes Julius Randle so hard to guard after Randle had 39 points and 5 assists against the Wizards. This was Kuz's response.
He does a great job of just using his body, understands how to get to the line and fouls. And he attacks every possession. So
that's right, Randle is hard to guard because he attacks. I use the NBA here as an example because most of you know the players, but it applies to all levels of basketball. So let's get back to my original question. Is it better to shoot more with a lower percentage or less with a higher percentage? When you are constantly in attack mode, the opposing defense has to worry about you. They have to adjust to you. They don't necessarily have to adjust to the guy that just waits in the corner for an open shot. And clearly those guys are important, especially in the NBA. But on the average high school basketball team, those guys are simply not going to stand out. The player who is out there making things happen for their team, they are the one who's going to stand out. And even if you aren't your team's star player, maybe you're the third or fourth option on a really high level high school basketball team, being aggressive in your role is still vital. Not just by scoring, but by making the opposing team have to respect and worry about you. In high school, I played on one of those really high level teams. Guys like Javon Cornelly and Naz Reid were on my AAU team. I came off the bench, and really my only role on that team was to be a shooter and make hustle plays. And yet, being aggressive in that role was still really important. If I didn't take advantage of my opportunities to shoot, the defense would be able to worry more about those other guys, and our offense would be less dynamic. Also, playing alongside a guy like Javon Cornelly, who was a 5-star recruit at the time, should have been a lesson for what I could bring to my high school team. His constant attack mode and fearlessness in big moments was always really impressive to me. He also had this really important trait where he didn't dwell on mistakes. If he missed a shot, it never deterred him from confidently taking the next one. However, during my high school games, if I missed a shot, I sometimes found myself preoccupied with the idea that I might miss the next one, instead of just worrying about continuing to be aggressive. So if you want to stand out and help your team have more success, Don't make the same mistake that I did in high school. Don't pass up on opportunities where you could be more aggressive. Be honest with yourself and the work you put in. It's not just about becoming a better player. It's about embracing this mentality that will take you to the next level. I know this is a really interesting topic, and I'm sure a lot of you have your own thoughts on it. So let me know how you feel about this debate in the comments. And if you're a younger hooper, check out this video on the #1 mistake that young basketball players make. As always, thanks for watching, keep working, and I'll see you soon.